it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to this week's Sketch Sunday Challenge. The sketch comes to you from MFT and I drew it out. If you want to see what it looks like, head over to MFT's blog and there will be a link on the right hand side to the sketch challenges. You can view this week's sketch and past weeks. I picked out some MFT products that I wanted to use, and I kind of did all of my planning because I wanted to do this card in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to quickly walk you through the supplies that were used, and then we're going to get started making the card, and hopefully I can do it in about 10 minutes. So this is the background die that I wanted to use. This is one of their blueprint dies, I believe, or their cover-up dies. This is also one of their dies. This is one of their tag dies. It's the stitched ones. I am using images from Happy Pawlidays, one of their stamp sets, their holiday stamp sets. We're going to use one of the dogs, and if you can see over here, I have all 4 of them already cut and colored and cut out. So when I did Christmas cards last year, I did a bunch of images and I didn't use all of them. So I kept them because I wanted to use them for this year's Christmas cards. Kind of figured I would have a head start. So I thought that I would go through this, if you guys remember this from another video. I have images and sentiments in here that are already cut, colored, and ready to go. So I went through that and found these 4 dog images and the present and a ornament. So we'll see which one of those I'm going to use on the card. I also went through my stash and found some Christmas paper. Now I've been doing a lot of traditional red and green cards, so I thought the red and pink and white looked really nice. There's a little bit of oh no, that's red. I'm sorry, I thought there was a little bit of green in there at first, but they are red. And then I picked out some red cardstock to match and then some white cardstock, and I've already gone ahead and scored and folded my card base so that it's ready to go, so that we can just go. So we're also going to be using the Cuttlebug to cut these out. So I think I'm ready to go, and it's about 2:20, so let's go. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is load up my magnetic platform, put the die face up, and put this on here, just making sure that the strip at the end is off of the die so we don't cut that. I'm going to try to line it up so that the tree's cut out nicely. Try to make it even. And then we're going to go run this through the Cuttlebug. We are also going to run the red cardstock through because I'm going to use one as the actual frame and then one as the pieces inside of it. And then I think I'm actually going to die cut inlay this tag. Did it not cut all the way through? It looks like it cut most of the way through. We can actually take my scissors and just cut that off. So let's do this one, and then we're gonna do it also in red. I'm not sure which version is gonna look better, so that's why I'm gonna cut out both, and we're gonna see which one we like the best. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to use the dog with the lights because the sentiment that I chose is may your days be furry and bright, and I just thought with the lights, the Christmas tree lights wrapped around him, that would look good. So this didn't cut out either. So either needs to be more pressure or something, but it didn't cut this all the way out, which is not a problem. You can stick it back in and run it through the machine again, but I'm not going to. So I'm afraid it's going to mess up. So we're just going to kind of work with what we have. And you can either use scissors or an X-Acto knife to kind of cut out right along the line. It's fairly easy to do. I guess, I don't know if my die is just not, maybe I just needed more pressure. Maybe I needed to run it back through a second time because these papers are not really thick. So we have that. So that's done. And then I want to run this white piece through. I have this whole piece, but I actually have a piece of scrap white cardstock, the one that I drew on, and I'm gonna run this through. So let's see. I don't know if it was that die or my Cuttlebug, but I'll probably run this through twice. So I'm about almost 3 minutes in. we're going to do this. And see, sometimes this is what happens. It kind of double cut it, but it's okay. Kind of shifted a little bit between the first and second pass through, but it's all right. So there's the tag. Again, when you make cards this fast in like 10 minutes, it's not a lot of time to mess up or go back and do things over again. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the other one and go back in and cut along the line and then just snip this off. I do have the Gemini Junior, and I don't know why, I just haven't used it yet. So I just want to see if it looks better with the red pieces inlaid or if it's the other way around. And what you can do is now you've actually created two card bases for this because you'll have both sets that you can do. So I think they both look nice. For this one, I'm just trying to see if I put the dog on, because what we're going to do is we're going to kind of glue this together and then we're going to run this through the Cuttlebug and like inlay that. There's that one there. And I think it actually looks better like this. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue this down onto here. We're going to glue this all together, and then we're going to put the die down. Go through. Forgot the adhesive. So we're just going to put this, put a little bit of glue down onto the base. Oops. Got some on the glass mat. We're just going to glue this right down. We're going to put some glue on the interior pieces. That way this all stays. It's nice and secure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place the die here. I'm actually going to take some washi tape. I always rub the washi tape on my hand so that it gets a little of the stick off of it, so it doesn't tear the paper. So we're going to do this. I'm going to place it down where I want it. And then we're going to run this through the Cuttlebug probably twice, just so that it cuts through all of the layers, because this is going to have multiple layers now that we've put it on this piece of white paper. You can use typing paper. This is just all I had around at the moment. But the thinner the paper you use, because you're not going to be able to see that. It's going to be glued to the back of the card base, so you're not going to see it. If you want to use printer paper, you probably can. It'll probably have an easier time running through and cutting out that image. So we can put this aside and use that for another card. Make the same exact card in a different way. Okay, so let's see. It looks like it mostly cut through. I think it's the, it must be a pressure point on this, because it seems like the same spot it's not cutting out. So we're going to do the exact same thing. I probably could have run it through one more time. You can always, like I said, you can always use an X-Acto knife, a pair of scissors for this. And this piece is actually going to get cut out, and we're going to actually put, I'll show you guys, we'll actually inlay this, that white piece of cardstock that we used. We're actually going to inlay that into there so that it's going to look like this. So I'm actually just going to take this over to my paper trimmer real quick and cut off the little white ends, so that it's just the cardstock, so you don't see the backing to it. And it's cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to put this to the side. We don't need that. And actually probably inlay it here, and that would look kind of cool. So I'm going to keep this one. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to glue this down to the card front base. It's here. So I only have like 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna go a little quicker. And glue this down to the card base, and I know there's going to be a border on all 4 sides because it's a little bit narrower than the actual card front. So there's the card front. And then we're going to take our tool here, our Tim Holtz Tonic Studios. And this is the stamp platform. So then we're going to line this up. It's on the clear side. I just want to make sure it was on the clear side. There's 2 different sides to this tool. There is a clear side and a rubber side. And depending on what kind of stamps you have, we're going to ink it up with the MFT ink. Stamp it down, and hopefully it'll get a nice imprint the first time, but if not, we can redo it. We have like a minute left. Oh, came out perfect. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side, and we're going to finish gluing this into its place. Glue this down. And then we are going to put this little guy here, glue him down. And voila, just made it. I have a couple seconds left. So there is a card in under 10 minutes. It was a lot of prep work in the beginning, and like I said, this image was already colored, but it's ready to go. So that's how quickly you can do a card in 10 minutes. Obviously, most of the stuff was done already, and it doesn't count the prep time of getting the products and stamping things out and coloring, like any of that prep period, but just actual assembly of the card in 10 minutes. So there's a Christmas card from the sketch. And I'll show you the sketch again. So here's the sketch, there's the card in under 10 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's Sketch Sunday Challenge. Come back next week. Hopefully I will be able to be a little bit more consistent with this now, especially since I'm going to be making Christmas cards. So I will see you guys again real soon for another crafty video. Bye!